Hey there, everyone. It's GG's Sober Son. July 20th. We must be loyal to the group and to each member of it. We must never accuse members behind their backs or even to their faces. It's up to them to tell us themselves if anything is wrong. More than that, we must try not to think bad things about any members, because if we do, we're consciously or unconsciously hurting that person. We must be loyal to each other if AA is going to be successful. While we're in this lifeboat, trying to save ourselves and each other from alcoholism, we must be truly sincere and sincerely helpful to each other. Am I a loyal member of my group? Yeah, and I have been in circles where people were really gossipy, and I guess I choose ignorance. You know, they say ignorance is bliss, and in that regard, I think it is, because I don't want to know everybody's dirty details. I like to think the best of people, really. That's just kind of my jam. Now, I do have a tendency to put people on pedestals, so when they show me that they don't want to be there, it kind of hurts, but I have to, again, look at myself and acknowledge my tendencies. So, yeah, it's better that if I find something objectionable in someone else, to look at myself. And in that respect, yes, that helps me be a better friend. It helps me be a better member of AA. It helps me be a better member of my group. Meditation for the day. Carry out God's guidance as best you can. Leave the results to Him. Do this obediently and faithfully with no questions that if the working out of the guidance is left in God's hands, the results will be all right. Believe that the guidance God gives you has already been worked out by God to produce the required results according to your case and in your circumstances. So follow God's guidance according to your conscience. God has knowledge of your individual life and character, your capabilities and your weaknesses. So God knows all and sees all. So it's better that I just leave it all, the results all up to Him. Doesn't mean I can't plan, because growing up, I've shared this before, I'm sure. It was go along to get along, so didn't do me any good to have plans or goals unless they aligned with my dad's or whatever, that I had to obey, which puts me in good stead with God. But God also, He doesn't want me to just be a hollow straw that He pours through, but I am required to be diligent. The story of what they call the talents, where a rich man was going out of town, and he gives all of his servants a certain amount of money to take care of, and some people make a plan to increase the rich man's money, right? And one guy's just like, I was afraid, so I just buried it, and the story was, like, you should have a plan, to do good things with what God gives you. And I'm just having a aha moment right now. So congratulations, y'all, witnessing it, because I'm still learning this. I'm still learning, living, loving, and growing, and how to be of service to God and those He puts in my life, and that is huge. And making plans is something that I've not been great at doing, in my life. And I've made the excuse that that's how I was raised, go along to get along. Don't make plans, because unless they line up with, dad's, then they're going to be scrapped anyway, so don't get your hopes up. But God isn't that way, God knows us better than our parents ever could. Even though our parents knew us from birth, they had their own desires and own plans for us, and they had their own stuff going on, frankly, to distract them from truly knowing us. And when I was growing up, not to get off on that tear, but it seemed like as children we were more like property than we were autonomous human beings. And that's just how I was raised. And, if I had problems, it created more problems, so best to keep your problems to yourself, kind of thing, and deal with them however you will. And, now I'm able to hand my problems over to God a lot easier, because I'm aware of that, that it's not my responsibility to carry them. But again, going back to helping others, making plans to put what God has given me to His purpose. Carry out God's guidance as best you can, as it says in the first sentence of the meditation for the day. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may live according to the dictates of my conscience. I pray that I may leave the results to God. And my conscience comes from God. God puts all good thoughts in my head. And deep down inside every man, woman, and child is a fundamental idea of God. And there is a moral law that is placed on our heart. It's not good to hurt people. It's not good to steal. We all know this. And it's inherent in us. We don't need to be taught the 10 Commandments. And that may be controversial to some people. But we have all of that inside us. And as long as we're aiming up, we know what is right to do. But if we're determined to create chaos and gossip, and that's going to ruin our lives, basically. We may win in certain things, but we're going to be winners of a hell that we're, a hell on earth. So it's better that we just let go, let God, keep coming back, and aim up. So that's what I'll do. Thanks for letting me share. I hope y'all keep coming back. Love ya. Look up, aim up, rise up.